The productivity industry is lying to you, and I'm about to prove it. Most people think productivity is just about following basic rules and hoping for the best. But after spending 3 years diving deep into this world, I discovered something that completely changed everything I thought I knew. Today I'm going to share the exact system that took me from complete beginner to someone who actually understands how productivity really works. And by the end of this video, you'll have a completely different perspective on the truth about productivity. Let me start with a story that will probably sound familiar. 2 years ago, I was exactly where you might be right now. I had tried everything the experts recommended. I followed all the conventional advice. I spent hours researching the best practices. And you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. I was frustrated, confused, and ready to give up. But then something happened that changed everything. I stumbled across a piece of information that none of the popular productivity channels were talking about. It was hidden in plain sight, but somehow everyone was missing it. This discovery led me down a rabbit hole that completely transformed my understanding of the truth about productivity. And what I found was shocking. The problem with most productivity advice is that it's based on outdated information. The landscape has changed dramatically in the past few years, but most people are still using strategies from 2020. They're fighting yesterday's battles with yesterday's weapons. Here's what's really happening in the productivity world right now. The old rules don't apply anymore. The strategies that worked 5 years ago are not just ineffective, they're actually counterproductive. And if you're still following conventional wisdom, you're setting yourself up for failure. When I started applying the 3-layer system to the truth about productivity, everything changed. The results were immediate and dramatic. Within weeks, I was seeing improvements that I had never experienced before. And the best part was that it felt effortless. I wasn't working harder, I was working smarter. But here's where it gets really interesting. As I continued to apply this system, I started noticing something unexpected. The principles that worked for the truth about productivity also applied to other areas of productivity. The psychological insights I had discovered were universal. This led me to develop what I now call the universal success formula for productivity. It's a simple but powerful framework that can be applied to virtually any challenge in this space. And today, I'm going to share it with you. The universal success formula has 3 components: mindset, method, and momentum. Most people focus only on method, the technical how-to stuff. But mindset and momentum are equally important, and they're often completely ignored. Let's start with mindset. Your mindset determines everything. If you approach the truth about productivity with the wrong mindset, you'll struggle no matter how good your method is. The right mindset creates a foundation for success. It helps you stay motivated when things get tough. It helps you see opportunities that other people miss. The mindset shift that changed everything for me was realizing that productivity is not about perfection, it's about progress. Most people get paralyzed trying to do everything perfectly. They spend so much time planning and preparing that they never actually start. But success in productivity comes from taking action, learning from feedback, and continuously improving. Let me break this down for you step by step. First, you need to understand that the truth about productivity isn't what most people think it is. The common perception is completely wrong, and this misconception is costing people time, money, and results. The real secret is understanding the psychology behind productivity. Most people focus on the technical aspects, but they completely ignore the human element. And that's where the magic happens. I learned this the hard way. After months of following traditional advice and getting nowhere, I decided to take a completely different approach. Instead of doing what everyone else was doing, I started studying the psychology of productivity. I looked at what actually motivates people. I analyzed what really drives results. And that's when everything clicked. The breakthrough came when I realized that the truth about productivity is actually about solving a much deeper problem than most people realize. It's not just about the surface level stuff that everyone talks about. It goes much deeper than that. Here's the framework that changed everything for me. I call it the 3-layer system. Layer 1 is what everyone sees, the obvious stuff that all the tutorials cover. Layer 2 is what experienced people know, the intermediate strategies that take time to learn. But layer 3 is where the real magic happens. This is the psychological layer that almost nobody talks about. Most people never get past layer 1. They learn the basics, apply them for a while, get mediocre results, and then give up. Some people make it to layer 2. They develop more advanced skills and see better results. But the people who really succeed, the ones who get extraordinary results, they understand layer 3. Layer 3 is about understanding the deeper motivations and psychological triggers that drive success and productivity. It's about recognizing patterns that aren't obvious. It's about seeing connections that other people miss. Next is method. This is the tactical stuff, the specific strategies and techniques that actually work. But here's the key. The best methods are often counterintuitive. They go against conventional wisdom. They require you to think differently about the truth about productivity. The method I'm about to share with you is based on 3 core principles that most people get wrong. First, less is more. Most people try to do too many things at once. They spread themselves thin and end up being mediocre at everything. But the most successful people in productivity focus on doing fewer things exceptionally well. Second, timing is everything. Most people focus on what to do, but they ignore when to do it. Understanding the right timing can make the difference between success and failure. There are optimal times for different activities, and recognizing these patterns gives you a huge advantage. Third, relationships matter more than techniques. Productivity is ultimately about people. The most successful practitioners understand this. They invest in building genuine relationships. They focus on providing value to others. And this approach consistently outperforms purely technical strategies. Finally, there's momentum. This is the most overlooked component of success in productivity. Momentum is what separates the people who achieve their goals from the people who give up halfway through. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Building momentum requires understanding the psychology of progress. Small wins create motivation for bigger wins. Consistency beats intensity. And celebrating progress, even small progress, is crucial for long-term success. Here's how to apply the universal success formula to the truth about productivity. Start with mindset. Adopt a growth mindset. Embrace the learning process. Understand that setbacks are part of the journey, not signs that you should quit. Then focus on method. Choose one specific approach and commit to it for at least 30 days. Don't jump between different strategies. Give your chosen method enough time to work. And remember, simple methods executed consistently always beat complex methods executed sporadically. Finally, build momentum. Set small, achievable goals. Track your progress. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. And surround yourself with people who support your journey. The transformation that happens when you apply this formula is remarkable. You'll start seeing results faster than you ever thought possible. More importantly, you'll develop the confidence and skills needed for long-term success and productivity. But there's one more thing I need to tell you. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they can do this alone. Success in productivity is a team sport. The most successful people have mentors, coaches, and communities that support them. If you're serious about succeeding with the truth about productivity, I want you to take action on what you've learned today. Knowledge without action is worthless. Start with the mindset shift. Embrace the learning process. Then choose one method and commit to it. Finally, focus on building momentum through small, consistent actions. The journey to mastering productivity isn't always easy, but it's absolutely worth it. The skills you develop, the confidence you build, and the results you achieve will transform not just your approach to the truth about productivity, but your entire life. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more insights that actually work. See you in the next one.